The case of Anneliese Michel begins in a small German town where a young woman dedicated to the faith began to face strange episodes. Convulsions, terrifying visions, and sudden changes in behavior arose without explanation. Medicine tried to intervene, but the symptoms were unusual. His family, desperate, came to believe that evil forces were taking control. At the age of 16, Anneliese was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. Despite treatments, she described dark presences around her. Voices pursued her day and night, ordering her to move away from what she considered sacred. His life became a silent battle, marked by fear and isolation as crises intensified. The young woman reported that demonic figures appeared in the room during the night, watching her with deep hatred. His cries echoed through the house, scaring the family. Gradually, his emotional health began to deteriorate. Anneliese said she felt a force that crushed her, as if something tried to penetrate her mind. Nothing seemed to stop her. The doctors insisted that everything was a consequence of epilepsy, but Anneliese said it was much darker. She claimed to see deformed faces, hear insults, and feel presences when touching her. Her parents watched the transformation of their daughter with impotence. The fear increased as new episodes occurred, more and more intense. Her behavior changed dramatically. She avoided religious objects, refused food, and became irritated with prayers. Sometimes his voice acquired strange, low, and distorted tones. The family began to believe that science could no longer explain what was happening. The local parish was sought, and a long process of spiritual evaluation began. Priests analyzed the case carefully, looking for genuine signs of possession. They reported that Anneliese reacted violently to crucifixes and holy water. She said that something inside her wanted to destroy her and that she did not have the strength to fight alone. These reports ignited the alarm of the church, which began to investigate more deeply. During some visits, Anneliese presented behaviors considered abnormal. Groaning, staring, and contorted body movements. His tone of voice seemed to belong to someone else, full of hatred and aggression. The priests began to record these signs as possible marks of demonic influence, reinforcing the family's concern. The situation became unsustainable. Anneliese spent hours in altered states, saying she heard multiple demons vying for control over her. They insulted her, threatened her, and said that they would never allow her release. In fear of losing their daughter, the parents pressed the church for an official rite of exorcism, seeking any hope. After long assessments, permission was granted. Twice a week, priests performed exorcism sessions based on the Roman ritual. Anneliese was subjected to intense prayers and spiritual confrontations that required physical and psychological strength from all present. Each session revealed even more extreme and disturbing behaviors. During the rituals, Anneliese demonstrated unusual strength. It was necessary for several men to hold her while she struggled, shouting in unknown languages. Some reports indicate that she mentioned information she should not know. Multiple voices seemed to emerge from his throat, leaving terrified witnesses. Recordings made during the exorcisms featured ghoulish screams and blasphemous speeches. At each meeting, the priests believed to face not one, but several demons. Anneliese said that evil beings had lodged in her for years and now refused to leave her body. The fight seemed endless. Even with the exorcisms, her health worsened. The demons, according to her, prevented her from eating and resting. Whole days passed without being able to eat. Physical exhaustion left deep marks. His appearance was transformed: deep eyes, pale skin, and increasingly erratic movements. Although weakened, Anneliese insisted that she needed to continue, believing that the suffering had a spiritual purpose. She said that she offered her pain to protect other people. Reports point out that even weak, there were moments of extreme violence, alternating with emotional pleas for liberation. The priests recorded that Anneliese identified specific entities, naming ancient demons and evil historical figures. Among them, she said she heard voices disputing space within her body, each proclaiming dominion. The intensity of these dialogues increased, making the environment charged and disturbing. As the months passed, the situation worsened. Anneliese could no longer attend school, have conversations, or perform simple tasks. His mind seemed fragmented between brief moments of lucidity and long episodes of uncontrolled. The family lived in constant vigilance, fearing that something worse would happen. During one of the sessions, she stated that the demons wanted to destroy her completely. His body trembled as his voice alternated between hatred and despair. The priests intensified the ritual, making long prayers and songs. Each word seemed to provoke violent reactions, as if something inside was being forced out. The authorities began to question the case, suspecting negligence. However, the family firmly believed that Anneliese was not only facing a medical disorder. The nights were marked by strange sounds, screams, and sudden attacks. Fear dominated the house, while the young woman quickly weakened. Even without eating properly, Anneliese insisted on continuing the exorcisms. She said that she felt the presence of demons weaken at times, but soon returned with greater force. The cycle seemed endless. The family believed that if they gave up, they would completely lose the spiritual battle. In recorded accounts, his voice assumed different identities. Each entity claimed to have a right over the young woman's body. Priests tried to confront them with orders and prayers, but they were answered with laughter, insults, and threats. The atmosphere of the sessions became increasingly intense and frightening. The surrounding community began to hear rumors about the affair. Some believed that Anneliese was indeed possessed. Others argued that she needed urgent psychiatric treatment. The debate grew as the young woman deteriorated. The emotional burden on the family and priests increased every day. Even weakened, Anneliese kept saying that she wanted liberation. She recognized that her body was weakening, but claimed that God would not forsake her. Among tears and cries, he struggled to maintain consciousness during the rituals. His religious conviction was deep, despite extreme suffering. During the most critical moments, she slammed her body against the ground and contorted violently. The demons, according to her, tried to break their resistance. The priests tried to keep control, but each session seemed more challenging, revealing levels of suffering that many considered impossible to bear. The sessions became long and exhausting. Hours of prayer were needed to keep the situation under some control. With each mantra, his voice changed, alternating between supplications and insults. The spiritual battle seemed to wear out all those present, making it clear that they were facing something unusual. Anneliese said that in the rare moments of lucidity, she felt peace and believed her liberation was near. However, these moments were brief. Soon, the voices returned, bringing chaos and despair. She begged for help, asking for strength to continue. Her faith was what kept her firm. Em uma determinada sessão, ele relatou que viu sombras ao redor da sala, figuras deformadas observando o ritual. As entidades pareciam provocá-la, dizendo que nunca sairiam. Seus gritos ecoavam enquanto os sacerdotes continuavam suas orações. A tensão era tão grande que alguns participantes precisavam se afastar para respirar. In a certain session, he reported that he saw shadows around the room, deformed figures observing the ritual. The entities seemed to provoke her, saying that they would never leave. Their cries echoed as the priests continued their prayers. The tension was so great that some participants needed to step away to breathe. As the suffering progressed, her body began to fail. Anneliese was extremely thin, with slow movements and heavy breathing. Still, I insisted that I needed to keep fighting. The family believed that final deliverance was near, despite the evident deterioration of their health. During one of the last sessions, Anneliese stated that the demons were being forced out. She trembled intensely and cried as she claimed to hear inner cries. The priests intensified the ritual, believing that they were finally close to victory, but the physical wear was already irreversible. Anneliese's forces were exhausted. Without adequate food and subjected to great physical and emotional effort, her body no longer responded as before. Even so, she repeated that she accepted suffering to fulfill a greater purpose. This conviction deeply marked all who witnessed his final state. On her last day, Anneliese showed extreme fragility. Her voice barely came out, but she said she believed she was free. Their last reports indicated a silent peace. The family, still in despair, hoped that this would be the end of the spiritual battle. But his physical condition no longer resisted. Anneliese died in 1976, leaving a case marked by mystery, suffering, and controversy. The autopsy revealed severe malnutrition and extreme weakness. The death of the young woman became a subject of worldwide debate involving religion, medicine, and justice. His name came to symbolize one of the best-known cases of possession. In a certain session, he reported that he saw shadows around the room, deformed figures observing the ritual. The entities seemed to provoke her, saying that they would never leave. Their cries echoed as the priests continued their prayers. The tension was so great that some participants needed to step away to breathe. The case generated legal proceedings against the parents and priests involved. The court stated that the young woman should have received more effective medical treatment. The defense claimed that everyone sincerely believed in a real spiritual battle. The trial divided opinions and generated discussions that echo today. The recordings of the exorcisms were used as evidence. In them, the voices attributed to the demons shocked the court. The gloomy atmosphere of the process rekindled the debate about the boundaries between faith and science. For some, Anneliese was a victim of mental illness. For others, a martyr in a true spiritual struggle. After the trial, the case became the subject of studies, books, and films. Researchers analyze until today if Anneliese suffered spiritual influence or a set of aggravated neurological and psychological disorders. The story continues to arouse curiosity and fear, reflecting the mystery of the supernatural. Regardless of the interpretations, Anneliese Michel's journey reveals human fragility in the face of the unknown. His story provokes deep reflections on faith, pain, and perception of evil. Many believe that their suffering was real, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. His legacy remains a silent warning. The case of Anneliese Michel remains alive in collective memory. His struggle, marked by pain and mystery, still echoes in the debates about possession and spiritual beliefs. Every detail of his trajectory raises doubts about the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural. To this day, his story awakens fear, compassion, and restlessness.